Okay, so tonight's video, what I'd like to show you is how to make a pop-up card box. And the reason I'm showing you this is because I've found this to be the most addictive card that I have learned how to make in the last 2 years or so. And I've made several of them, including the batch of 8 that I just made earlier this week for our Administrative Professionals Day, and they love them. So unfortunately, I've given them all away, and I realized I don't actually have any that I've made to show you. So I will show you this one that I got from my mom for my birthday. And it's a lot of fun. It's got a little rip. I'm going to have to repair that. But other than that, so it's really neat. I hope I don't have it too close. Okay, and then she's written on the back of it, happy something birthday, Laura. And yeah, so that's what I'm going to be showing you how to make. And I'm going to do this video in 2 parts, so it's not too long, and so that I can take a break and catch up. And so the first step is you are going to pick 2 pieces of coordinating paper. So this is one of our B&T Duos. It's a gorgeous one. It's from the Blossom paper pack, which you will find in our newest Seasonal Expressions Idea book. It's just come out in April. And the nice thing about our B&T Duos, I don't know if you can see this, but in this white strip that you cut off and then you get your 12 by 12 size, it tells you what paper packet it comes in, and it tells you what comes with the paper packet, and then it tells you the featured colors. So if you're looking for an ink that coordinates, or if you're looking for cardstock that coordinates, for instance this piece here, I would look at this, and this tells me that the featured colors are Glacier, Lagoon, Pear, Smoothie, Sunset, and White Daisy. So any of those colors are in this piece of paper or would coordinate really well with it. So I've decided to make this one on Lagoon. And the other one I am doing on Smoothie. So that's this one here. I've done one ahead to kind of show you what we're going to end up with. So this is on the Smoothie cardstock. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is you want to take your cardstock and you want to make sure that you want to cut it to 8.5 inches by 12. My cutter just fell off. I'm going to double check that measurement. 8.5 by 12. Yeah, okay. So I have our Close to My Heart cutter, but I'm not going to demonstrate it tonight because my blade's dull and I need to replace the blade. So this is our cutter, and it opens up like this, and so it goes out to 15 inches. And it has beautiful score lines, so you can kind of figure out squares and envelope shapes and stuff like that. Really good cutter, but you do have to buy replacement blades every once in a while, so maybe I'll put one of those sets on my order for this party. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my my old familiar Creative Memories cutter, which I have just recently replaced the blades on. Okay, and so I'm going to make this 8.5 by 12. I'm going to line that up with my 8.5. I think I'm off with my camera sighting. Sorry about that. Okay, 8.5. Okay, by 12. Okay, you don't need this piece. You can throw it in your scrap drawer or save it for some other project. So now that I've got my 8.5 by 12 piece, I'm going to take my scoring tool. And again, this isn't the Close to My Heart one. This one, I believe, I got it for Christmas a couple of years back, so from my mom. I believe I can get it at Michael's or Walmart, but we also sell one. So if you look in the catalog, if this is something you don't have, we do sell something very similar in our product line. Okay, so I'm going to put my paper long side down, and I am going to score it at, and again, I'm going to check the measurements because once I make a mistake, can't go back. Okay, and also I've taken pictures of the earlier box I made, so I'm going to post the steps in another post, so you can watch the video, you can follow along, and then if I'm going too fast, then you can look at the next post and it'll break it down step by step. Okay, so we're going to score it at 2.75. So right there's my 2.75, and I just draw my score tool along there, and then 5.5. and then 8.25. So you see every 2.75 we're drawing a line. So 8.25 and then 11, leaving a little 1-inch line at the end. Okay? Now that we've done that, we want to cut a 2 by 12 piece off of it. And again, before I make any cuts, I'm going to double check. 2 by 12. My memory isn't really failing me tonight. That's nice. Okay, so off the long side, you've got, can you see all those beautiful score lines? Okay, so off the long sides, we're just going to cut another slice off of it. So now I'm going to line it up. Instead of having it at 8.5, I want it here at 6.5, and that'll give me a nice 2-inch piece off of it. Okay, hang on to this because you're going to use part of this later. Grab your scoring tool again. Okay, and this time, instead of lining it up this way, we're going to flip it just a quarter turn. Okay, and we are going to score it again at 2.75. Right down like that. Okay, so now we've got, and I honestly don't know if you can see this, but now we've got a line this way, and then we've got the 5 lines this way. I'm going to take my scissors, and I have close to my heart micro tip scissors. These are so far the sharpest and most intricate scissors that I've used. So if these go dull, I'm definitely buying myself another pair. And I'm going to, on the shorter side, so here's my middle line, on these short sides, I'm going to cut the lines just down to where they intersect my middle line. So just like this. And you can do this with your paper cutter if you want to as well. Sometimes it's the perfect way to do it, other times you cut just a little too far or not quite on the line. I find if you have a good pair of scissors, this is perfectly adequate. But I'm doing this late at night, so I'm struggling with the shadows. I have a very well lit craft room, but I'm casting a shadow on this. Or maybe my eyesight's just failing me. Okay, so I've done that. Now I want to cut this piece off. We don't need this. So I'm going to chop it off, but I'm going to chop it off at an angle. So I'm going to cut it just like that. Okay, leaving me with this. And what that gives me is the shape of my box. Okay, the next thing you want to do is you want to grab your coordinating paper. Beautiful thing about this is that it's double-sided. So I can decide if I want to do it all with this color or all with this color or a bit of both. What I've done with this one is I've alternated it. So I flipped it upside down. See if you fold up the card. I flipped it so I'm using both sides, so it gives me a really neat pattern. Okay, and so we don't need this anymore. We're done with our scoring tool. So I'm going to set that aside, and we want to bring our paper cutter back. Okay, and what we want is we're going to do 2.5-inch strips. So 2.5 inches, and sorry, all my measurements have been in inches because my paper cutter is in inches. So that's what happens when you shop from American companies. So 2.5 inches, I'm going to cut it just right down there. And from this strip, I want 6 1/4. 6 1/4. Okay, 6 1/4 is right there. And then, so I want 1 6 1/4. I'm going to want 3 pieces that are 3 1/2 by 2 1/2. And then 6 pieces that are 2 1/2 by 2 1/2. Okay, so I am going to do those really quick. Okay, here's going to be a 3 1/2 by 2 1/2. And I think this piece is too short to do anything with. So we're going to set that aside so it doesn't get mixed in. Okay, another 2 1/2 strip. 2 1/2 inch strip. Okay, I'll do my next 2 3 1/2s. And I think that might be 2 1/2 as well. So this is 2 1/2 by 2 1/2 and 2 1/2 by 2 1/2. So I just need 4 more. And again, I will have all these directions written out for you, so you don't have to scramble to pay attention. Okay, 2 1/2, 2 1/2. Okay. The last piece you need, you can do in any color. So I did it in white. This is where you'll write on your card. So this is the back of your card. You don't have to do it in white though. See how my mom did it in this pretty pink? She just did it in the same pattern as the other one, and that looks quite nice too. So if you're working with a light pattern and you want to do a little writing on it, like that might work really well. In fact, let's do that. And this piece here, we're going to want 6 1/4 by 2 1/2. And the nice thing is, you see this white strip with the writing on it? You can cut it off, but you don't need to throw it away because the back of it's patterned. So you might have a use for that at some point. Okay, 6 1/4 by 2 1/2. There we go. Okay, those are the pieces we need. Now what we're going to do is we're going to fold our box. Okay, so fold this strip in, and then you just basically roll it. Fold it along your score line. And fold it along your score line one more time. So you get this. And you're going to fold your edges back. These are the flaps. I just screwed up. You're not supposed to fold this one back. This is your back. It should be upright. Fold this one back. This one back. And this one back. Okay, then we are going to, this is the inside because the box is going to fold closed like this. So we're going to glue our inside pieces down. We don't need to do too much with the inside. We're going to put a big piece here and then little pieces here, but we don't need to cover those. That'd be a waste of paper. So our big piece on the inside, let's go with the pattern side. So this is our scrapbook adhesive tape runner. We sell these. We also sell the refills. I've been very happy with them. I switched to them because I'm a Creative Memories. That's what I used to do, and they went out of business, so I've had to find a replacement, and I'm happy with this. I'm going to continue to order these. You just go across like that. You know, one stripe up at the top, one in the middle, one at the end. That's enough to hold it. If you want to be a little more diligent, not always a bad thing, then you can maybe fill in the sides a bit. Okay, so there's our first middle piece, and I'm going to glue it right there. Okay, and then what I did with that one, and I like the effect, is I'm going to alternate. So I'm going to glue my pieces like this. Those are my 2 1/2 by 2 1/2. Okay, and then I'm going to do the back. Okay, remember this is our back. This is where I shouldn't have folded it down. This is where we are going to put the piece that we want to write on. So I'm going to put that down there. So that's where I will be writing my happy birthday, or congratulations, or hey, you look like you need something to cheer you up. And then this is the back of our card, so everything's going to show on this. So you can do whatever you want. I'm going to alternate, so I'll put that side up. Oh no, I don't want to do that. No, this isn't going to work. How does this not work? I guess it doesn't matter which way I do it. It's not going to, okay. So that's what we're going to do. And so I'm going to do that. I'm going to glue them all down. Okay, and then I will come back and shoot part 2 of the video after I've prepped it a bit more. Okay? So the next step, after you've glued everything down, pretend I've glued everything down, I'll do that in a few minutes, is you glue your card together. So you take your flap, you cover this with glue, you bring this around, and you stick it down. Okay? And I'll come back and I'll show you how we make the inside. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp some designs and some pictures and stuff, and cut them all out, and then I'll show you what we're going to do with them.